Hi. In this video I'm going to show you how to write an equation of a line in slope-point form by looking at the graph. It's worth mentioning that one of the advantages of slope-point form is that sometimes when you have a graph, it might be relatively easy to find the slope, but the y-intercept might be just a little bit hard to find. So sometimes it's easier to use slope-point form than it is to use slope-intercept form. Okay, so here we're asked to write an equation of each of these lines in slope-point form. And then underneath here I've just written a reminder of what slope-point form is. So it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And m is the slope, and one of the points on the line is x1, y1. You can see here I have a little bit of whiteout. I had written write the equation, except that there's more than one correct equation of a line in slope-point form. So for each of these we're actually going to do two equations. It'll be really quick. Alright, so let's look at the first one. So we need to find a point. That's really easy because we've got 2 points marked, and we need to find the slope. So the slope of this, I think the easiest thing is just to draw it on here. We've got a rise from -2 up to 3, that's a rise of 3, and a run of 4. So the slope of that line is 3/4. And to double check, it's shaped like it's in this direction and it's positive, so that looks right. Alright, so it's slightly easier to write the equation in slope-point form if your numbers are positive, because then when you just have y subtract y1, it'll just be y minus 1. So let's do that one first. So one option is y minus, and the y value, this is worth being extra careful with, just labeling these x and y, because the order is different in the two places. So y minus 1 equals, and then m, so it's the slope, 3/4, open brackets, x minus x1 is 3. So there's one equation. And we could equally well use this point. I'll label that x and y again. So y subtract -2, that's y plus 2. This equals to 3/4 times x subtract -1, so that's x plus 1. So these are two different equations of this line in slope-point form, and they're both perfectly correct. And I think they're both pretty easy to get. The hardest thing there was finding the slope. Alright, let's look at the next one. So I'll find the slope again. So a rise of 3, we've got a run of 2, so the slope is 3/2. So if I'll use this point first, x, y. So y subtract 2 equals 3/2. X subtract, my x value is 1. So there's one form of the equation, and if I use this point down here, this is what I get. X, y. Okay, so y subtract -1, that's y plus 1, and it's equal to 3/2 times x subtract -1, so that's also plus 1. Alright, so two different forms of each of these equations, both of them perfectly good. There are more forms too. If we knew the coordinates of more points, we could use any point we wanted to, but it's easier to use the ones that are already there. Okay, good luck.